Back in my day, we called the slivers meat hooks 'cause their little hands looked like they had meat hooks on 'em. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher, aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video, and John has asked me to put together a Slivers deck for the year of our Keranos 2026. And that's a tough ask. Aether Vial-based creature decks are just not really a thing in Legacy anymore. It's very rare to see something like Merfolk or Goblins or Humans floating around in the Legacy format. And so I did a lot of digging into sliver lists, and I'm going a direction that I didn't expect to go when I started doing my research for this video. We are going to be building around Hatchery Sliver here. Each Sliver spell you cast has Replicate, allowing you to essentially make a second copy of it. Hatchery Sliver itself also has Replicate, so if you are on 4 mana, you can make a copy of Hatchery Sliver when you cast it. And as you can probably imagine, doing something as simple as duplicating your Lord can allow you to just run over your opponent relatively easily. Or even if you're just duplicating a smaller sliver. Sorry, I've just gotten totally distracted by this like dragonfly art. This is what I wanted. You're out. Anyway, even something as simple as just duplicating an inexpensive sliver can become much more difficult to deal with when they are buffed and potentially shroudy as well. And Hatchery Sliver is in the deck because it is part of a combo. We are going to use Leyline of Transformation to transform everything into a sliver. Memnite is going to be a sliver. And then we are going to do this and see if we crash Magic Online. As this is a sliver, I can now replicate it for its mana cost, which is 0. I am now going to replicate Memnite 999 times. We're going to always yield to that trigger. Do I crash Magic Online? Okay, alright. First batch is in play. I might need to pick a more moderate number, like 100, to make this work for the video. Okay, so it does indeed work. So we have made 999 Memnites. Picked it in sort of a strange way. And this should very much kill our opponent. To make the combo sometimes happen immediately, we are going to have Thrumming Hivepool to give our creatures haste as well as double strike, and this can also just be something that we dump into play to win a matchup where we are not going to combo. Having 2 1/1 double strike haste creatures come into play every turn that can be buffed by our lords and whatnot seems like a reasonable plan. The original mana base that I used as a starting point had a bunch of Wastelands. I don't think you get to get away with both Wastelands and Cavern of Souls in this deck. I don't even know if I can get away with as many Caverns as I have because Caverns don't cast cantrips. It may be that I should further trim things from where they are at even now, but resolving the Hatchery Sliver is kind of a big deal. I'm going to try running it as is. We can always make changes if the league is, going disastrously. The sideboard features a playset of Muscle Sliver, so that if for any given matchup we decide, hey, I don't think the combo is realistic here, we can just board in 4 Muscle Slivers and a handful of other interaction and get rid of the ley lines and still just have a perfectly reasonable deck. So this should be an entertaining video. I hope that we get to do the thing a few times. It is a little janky to assemble, but it is something that you can do on turn 2 as long as you start with the ley line in play. Hopefully, we can make it happen. And if you would like to play this silly deck and meme on your locals, please consider getting them from my sponsor, toamagic.com. I have always been happy with their customer service. Their shipping speeds have been great, and use my promo code ThrabenU to save a little bit on your order when you get whatever neat cards you want. With that being said, let's battle. All right. Cavern of Souls does not cast Worldly Tutor here, making this hand a little bit awkward in that capacity. I don't think this one is great. Opponent says, Hello to YouTube. I'm gonna mulligan this one. If I find a Memnite, this one goes infinite. I'm game. I think I'm gonna keep 2 cantrips to try to find the Memnite and do the thing. We are Slivers. Yeah? I'm looking for land and Memnite. And I suspect that we are on a combo hand, not a fair hand, so I'm not even going to bother to play Gale Rider Sliver on 1 here. But it says they didn't expect that. I'm sorry, is Leyline of Transformation not common in your metagame? I'm thinking about whether or not I want Thrumming Hivepool. I'm gonna try to do the thing, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the land here. Basic Island. Pass turn. I'll pick up a Cavern of Souls here. If my opponent is not a combo deck, it's pretty likely that I can just replicate the shit out of Hatchery Sliver and win by like making 3 Gale Rider Slivers, then giving everyone double strike. I can also brainstorm for my combo. Uh-oh. Okay, it is stock up. So, my opponent is playing a combo deck, which means that double replicating Gale Rider's Sliver is probably worse than just trying to brainstorm for Memnite. So, here we go. I do have the haste enabler in hand as soon as I draw. So I brainstorm. All right, I can attempt a ponder afterwards. I think I will go land back, fetch a land that can cast ponder. Let's do a tundra. 3 looks for Memnite to go infinite. Well, I guess 4. I want the Memnite. Yu-Gi-Oh! Damn. Didn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Hard enough. My slivers fly. In for 2. 18. That's a shame. We had a very real chance at executing the combo that turn. Alright. It's the 1 ring. Well, shit. That's something that fogs my combo. That's mighty rude. I'm gonna name Sliver. So I replicate this once. So I go blue. I don't know if both of these are gonna end up uncounterable. I guess that's an important thing to know, right? Okay, so that is counterable. This costs 2. Get in there. So is Thrumming Hivepool lethal next turn now? I get 2, 4, 6, 7, doubled to 14. All right, I'm not actually getting combat damage on my own turn because of the 1 ring. Sorry, I got lost in replicating my slivers. I'm sure you can understand. Copy artifact. That gives my opponent a new fog. That is not very cash money of you. I just want to kill you with slivers. Grim Monolith? Looks like we're not playing against Show and Tell. Ooh, nice. I think my opponent's dead. So I will replicate this once. This is going to now give me 6 slivers, which allows me to cast Thrumming Hivepool for free. And any reasonable person would just die to Thrumming Hivepool. 4, 8, 12, 15, doubled to 30. Oh, I didn't count these ones as well. Swing out of fucking spite. 1 ring fog is very good, folks. It is an unhealthy thing that you are allowed to do in Legacy. And at previous times, the 1 ring was certainly ban-worthy. Right now, it's not particularly great. It's a very strong thing that you can do. But we're not over the line of like, hey, maybe remove this from the format right now. As it turns out, Daze deck's pretty damn good right now. This is a good game proving the concept of this deck, though. Like, this was a very reasonable thing to be doing. All right, is it Coveted Jewel? It is Coveted Jewel. Is that different Coveted Jewel art? Yeah, that one's got a chocobo on it. That's new. Okay. So, if you haven't seen this before, my opponent is now going to start doing copy artifact stuff on Coveted Jewel. And each time they will draw 3 cards and produce 3 more mana. So the scary thing that can happen is a Paradox Engine, which lets my opponent untap all of their stuff each time they cast a spell. That likely means that I am now dead. So they cast anything, and now every spell that they cast is going to give them 6 mana. With the ability to repeatedly copy Coveted Jewel, this probably means I'm dead. However, I have approximately infinity damage in play, so we'll wait a little bit longer before I concede. And a handful of clicks later, we do have an Emrakul. That doesn't literally kill me on the spot, but I'm going to say that that is good enough that, like, that's the point where I can concede. My opponent has shown me a real win condition. GG. So I've got null rods, and I can think about some extra copies of Force of Negation as well. This needs to become what do I take out? My combo was definitely live. I think Worldly Tutor is often going to be something that I cut. I think I can probably trim a Hivepool. That means 2 cuts. I don't know that I really need to worry about my opponent targeting my stuff. This is reasonable if I want to keep the combo. The other thing that I can do, and let's just see what this looks like for the sake of argument, is board those 8 out and just play traditional Sliver aggro. Keep the Hivepool. I'm not sure if this is better or not. I kind of want to do the thing. So let's attempt to do the thing. Yes. This is slightly awkward, but it has all 3 of my combo pieces in it. Believe it or not, everybody Sliver. This has the potential to turn to infinite combo. By putting the Leyline in play, I'm dropping my Force of Negation, though. And opponent cantrips. This is a passing thought. I wonder if my deck should be like a Pact of Negation deck. I wonder if, like, on the turns where we're all in, we're just going. Or if, like, swinging lethal with Slivers, Pact of Negation, your removal spell. I wonder if something like that is an appropriate angle to take. Yeah. I think I've got a Hedge Maze in here. I need any land. Cavern of Souls is ideal. I will say no to Force of Negation attempting to find my land or a cantrip. I did not. I will pass the turn here. I've got a counterspell for whatever my opponent starts attempting, and then as soon as I find a land, I do my own combo attempt. There's a City of Traders, there's a Show and Tell. I mean, part of me wants to get greedy here. Here is a Force of Negation. Alright, hopefully I don't die immediately. If I don't die immediately, I can kill on my turn before something like an Emrakul could attack. Alright, Coveted Jewel to play. Do you think they're going to metamorph? Hatchery Sliver. I didn't think so. I'll just F6 here. There's a Transmute artifact or the Paradox Engine. So now life's pretty bad. I just fully have this combo gearing to go. I'm so close with haste. That was top off the preordain. That's not great. Copy artifact. That's a new jewel. I'm now going to give you relevant updates. The One Ring is pretty brutal. That means that I don't get to do my combo and win next turn. This might be the point where I just tap out, like where my opponent has fogged with 9 cards in hand, 6 mana plus the One Ring. I think I will sadly say that my opponent has got this one. Proof of concept for the deck. I am happy with my deck's performance, even though I lost both of those games. GG's. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com. If you're looking to store your decks online, you're not going to find a better website. It's super organized and easy to use, and I sort everything that I do into a ton of format-specific folders, and you can customize the way that you use Moxfield to your liking. Whether you like text views or visual views of multiple different natures, Moxfield has it all. And it's so easy to use, you might even say that it's a snap. All right, this is a game where I am probably just straight up going to play Sliver aggro and hope that having a bunch of shroudy evasive creatures is, good enough to just win the game. Once Upon a Time, off Bloodstainmire. This is just an off-color fetch land for Moonshadow.deck. Feels vaguely Jundish. Thoughtseize is good. Based on what I'm seeing here, I'm guessing that I'm losing Crystal and Sliver. That's perfectly reasonable. My opponent gets their redraw. Multiple Worldly Tutors is not where I want to be. I don't even think I will cast that card next turn. It's fine to Worldly Tutor for a combo piece, Like, that is a good use of a Worldly Tutor. I don't think it is worth using Worldly Tutor to just get a fair creature. Like, I can Worldly Tutor for a Predatory Sliver and cast that the following turn. I think I'd rather just have a chance to brainstorm these away if the game goes on for a while. We've got a Nethergoyf. My creatures fly. Hopefully that continues to be true. Alright, Predatory Sliver off the top is reasonable. In for 6 if nothing goes wrong. However, a Fatal Push, killing Gale Rider Sliver, and then causing this Sliver to be blocked pretty much just wins my opponent the game on the spot. That is unfortunate. I can tutor for a new one if I'd like. Super Shredder. Rough. So now, do I want to Worldly Tutor for a Flying Sliver? Not really. I'm not winning this race versus these permanents, which I think means that I'm just not winning. I don't have the Leyline in play to do my cool thing here. And I also got Wastelanded off of green. My opponent's got this one at this stage. GG. So my opponent has green cards technically, but they might be very close to a mono black deck here. I would love to execute this combo. I think I'm going to attempt to be a combo deck with no changes for the game where I am on the play. And for the game where I'm on the draw, I think I board out my combo and board in a bunch of reactive elements. Yes, I am willing to keep this. I will name Sliver. I don't think I'm going to try to set up Worldly Tutor immediately, so I'm going to just play out the Ponder. Those are okay cards. I think I am willing to take Ponder and Land of these. I think I ignore the days. Wasteland seems very good. I think I now get Tropical Island and Ponder. I would like to find one of my 2 combo pieces here. I did not. I think I am trying to combo. I think I'm just going to shuffle this. Nice. All right. Upkeep, stop. Is that true? This is turn 2, but I've already played a land. I'm going to set the stop to give myself the chance to do it. Opponent fetches. Asks Once Upon a Time. It is looking like they are mono black with Once Upon a Times. Maybe to help with Nethergoyf count. All right, there's the Moonshadow. I already predicted that. Reet Wraith as well. We are going hard on the cycling. Stalker is fine. I'm going to go ahead and put my other combo piece into hand. Pick up Memnite. I will draw it for turn. Now get rid of this stop. Pass turn. And I have Force of Will for a piece of interaction, and then I do my combo. Things like Bobble are okay. I don't care about the Stalker sitting in play here. Moonshadow is fine as well. Surveilland is reasonable. Moonshadow grows. I will take some damage. 17. Fetch. Grab a Meticulous Archive. Yes. That can go on top. Opponent redraws. Here is a Hatchery Sliver. Now, let's replicate this. How about a modest 101 times? Oh, it changed it to 11, but alright. That still's fine. I now get to cast Thrumming Hivepool for free. These all have double strike. Alright, there it is. Screenshot moment. We have done the thing. GG. For this next game, do I want to become a more controlling deck with at least these 7 cards, probably the ley lines as well? That would involve doing this, which is exactly 10. That is mighty convenient. Well-built sideboard, Phil. Good job. Yeah, I will become more controlling for this game. We probably lean on the Thrumming Hivepool quite a bit to win longer games. This is totally fine. The Leyline really slows down my opponent's creatures. If I lose this creature, my game plan slows down a lot. Wasteland. You've got it. Opponent's just gonna cycle some stuff. Go to 19. Oh. Presumably I lose Hatchery Sliver here, given what my opponent saw last game. But I think it's totally reasonable to just take Brainstorm instead if they have a removal spell already. All right. Understood. Yeah, so they're going to get some Bobble redraws, but presumably I shut down something. All right, they're saving one. I don't want to see another land there. That is what it is. Now opponent bobbles and can take another redraw. Basically looking at an entirely different opening hand at this point from what they started with. Great Wraith. Lotus Petal? Void Mirror. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no colored mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. Okay. I mean, that definitely does things versus my deck, but we've kind of juked out of our combo. Yeah, and Moonshadow is fine. So I will Surveil. I think I'm just going to let my opponent wasteland a green source here. And Hedge Maze. No, I do not want more land at this stage. Absolutely not. So much mana. Let a Cavern get wastelanded? Not sure which one of those lands my opponent will view as better. I view the Caverns as not very good. They might view this as better than it is. It's awkward if I play a Cavern out here and then I draw a cantrip and this land gets wastelanded. So maybe I shouldn't. Well, you know what? The Cavern went bye-bye, and that is perfectly fine. Yeah, these Moonshadows are just 1/1s. A-okay with me. Force of Will, not particularly strong here. I'm in for 2. I'm currently winning this race. My opponent attacks for 2. I attack for 2. They're already at 13. Wasteland is fine. Again, I just have so much mana here. I will take 2. Now I have a second Surveil land in the deck, luckily. Meticulous Archive. Sliver time. I don't have the mana to replicate it. It will do its job just fine, though. Slivers. Get in there, bud. Ooh. Okay, it's just a Surveil. That's fine. Opponent says no to a Bobble. Bobbles at this stage are very slow cantrips that aren't growing Moonshadow. Thoughtseize is great. You may deal 2 to yourself to take my spell that was uncastable. Fully accept. Opponent is now holding back. Well, funny thing about that is my creatures are just going to get bigger. And I could try to hold back for replicate, but I think I'm just turning dudes sideways. This is 7 damage in. Opponent is at 7. They have to block at least once this turn. All right, they're going to block both times. Maybe they've got something fancy like a Toxic Deluge they can rip. Slivers! We are on the board. GG's. All right, my opening hand is fine here. I'm going to be playing a fair game with Thrumming Hivepool and Predatory Sliver unless things like massively change. I'm fine just taking this as a creature that has the word Sliver on it. Flooded Strand Gamer for Underground Sea. Uh-oh. That is a personal tutor for a Doomsday, and I don't have any counterspells currently. My hand is very bad against this deck. I'm going to go for the Brainstorm and try to hit a fetch land to clear. Miss. Rough. Put back 1. This is a blue card. It pitches to the counter magic that I'm trying to find. Put back 1 and 2. Tropical Island. Cast Ponder with the intention to shuffle. Yep. Alright, Force Will off the top, baby. Fuck. Well, there is the Thoughtseize. The jig is up. Dark Ritual Doomsday almost certainly beats me. And I'll 100% just lose the Brainstorm here, because it's the thing that can redraw into counter magic. My opponent also potentially doesn't even need to go for it this turn. Like, they can. I have no pressure on board, no ability to impact their life total. But this is a turn 2 Doomsday pile, which will probably win on turn 3. They haven't made a land drop this turn yet. It could, in theory, happen now. Okay, my opponent has made their pile. Is there anything interesting here? No, pretty normal stuff. I don't have anything cool to do. I guess I could play this off of a Cavern of Souls, but that doesn't really matter. Great Wraith, land drop, fetching, and that's just a Thassa's Oracle. 2 cards left in library, but I can't interact here. Opponent just kind of punched a hole and went for it. GG's. Notably, my opponent appears to just kind of be full-on combo Doomsday, at least in the Game 1 configuration. I don't so much need to worry about answering Tamios and whatnot, given that information. I probably go up 3 Force of Negations at the cost of some other random cards and call that fine. For the game that I'm on the draw, it might be a little jankier trying to assemble my combo, and it may just be better to beat my opponent to death with Muscle Slivers, given that they have their life total. I think for the game that I'm on the play, I want to threaten a turn 2 kill. Okay, opening hand does not have functional mana. Oddball Savannah that is in the deck to make the mana work doesn't work here. This is a weird one. With any land, I have incredible scaling power and 1 counterspell backup. I think I'm an absolute dog in this matchup. I'm going to just keep something that requires me to get lucky. Cavern on Sliver and pass. I only hit the land immediately about a third of the time. So like this is not ideal. And we do miss. I hit another counterspell, which is kind of whatever. I suspect that this hand was on par with going to 5 when in combo configuration. In aggro configuration, I can probably do better than that 6-card hand. Opponent to 18. A Ball Ritual is fine. Doomsday is not. Force of Negation, pitching a Force of Will. Spectral Restitching? Exile X target artifacts and or creatures. Bring the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. And that just gets 8 Bears and Null Rods out of the way, I guess. Alright, is there anything interesting chilling out in here now? There's a couple of Barrogoyfs. Long Goodbye is, I guess, good to know about. I need a blue card here. Nope. Touch. Drop. And drop a Sliver. Versus my opponent's current life total. This looks great, but the reality of the situation is that I'm dead. Like, Thassa's Oracle right here just already kills me. And this pile would have gotten through the Force of Will that I had as well. Yep. You've got it. GG. Okay. I think the Worldly Tutors are only good when we line up the Leyline. I don't think I like this hand. I can try to brainstorm both Worldly Tutors back. That's the other thing that I could do. I don't have a fetch land right now. This would require Force of Will, pitching Crystalline Sliver to just try to back. No, I think I just mulligan this one. I don't think the Worldly Tutor should be in the deck. I'm gonna go to 5. Okay. On 5, do I keep the Leyline? Probably no. Probably just try to Sliver beat down. I could do this so that Memnite is a Sliver that grows to this. That seems kind of niche. This is a bad aggro hand, though. Mox, Diamond. Lands? Reclaimer? Alright. The Hivepool. Okay. I've got a clear direction that I'm going. Also, apologies if at any point you get some Discord beep beeps during this video. I'm coordinating with a company that I'm working with, and I'm waiting on a message back about something relatively important. Flagstones up and online. I will fetch and surveil. Hatchery Sliver. I'm not going to have the mana for that. I'm just going to say no. I'm expecting to get wastelanded. I really just want more mana here. You're a little late to the party. You will go on Sliver, and I think I'm going to give everyone Shroud first. These Elvish Reclaimer decks tend to be so good at interacting with permanents. I think I just want to say no to that. So Elvish Reclaimer can activate here. The Flagstones is a creature, meaning that Badgermole Cub makes it tap for an additional mana. There is the Savannah off of the Flagstones trigger, and we are going for Dark Depths combo. Understood. Yeah, I will take that hit. So what now happens is my opponent uses 2 mana to activate Elvish Reclaimer, and then 2 mana to target the Dark Depths for Thespian Stage. I'm just dead to this. I have 1 out that I can think of, and it's not pretty, and I did not hit it. We are very dead there. GG. So, do I want to try and interact with this deck, or am I a combo deck here? I feel like my opponent grinds me out as these games go long. I feel quite certain about that. Does that mean I'm just running the combo back? Or does that mean I should attempt to slow them down? With 3 removal spells total, I don't know that I consistently enough slow them down. I think I'm going to run back the game 1 deck and just hope that it goes better. Alright, I got my company answer. Discord is off. I'm 1 good draw away from turn 2ing my opponent. I think I only put 1 of these in play so that I can brainstorm the other back. Everybody is a sliver. Land drop and pass turn. Memnite is my favorite sliver. Who's your favorite sliver? Memnite is not my favorite sliver. Let's be real. I don't know which one is without actually looking at them. I think I surveil over play Crystalline Sliver here. Yes. That assembles my combo. So next turn I play Crystalline Sliver and Worldly Tutor the replicating sliver whose name I am forgetting. And then I have a kill. Badger Mole Cub. That is fine. Rain Sun is fine. So, yeah. Yeah. Opponent has their own land drop. This combo is more consistent than I expected it to be. It's 3 pieces and kind of sketchy, but with the cantrips and the worldly tutors, it's actually working out okay. What awful hell is this? Knight of the Reliquary. Okay. I mean, that's going to be good. I will just eat the 2 damage here. That's fine. I'm going to be so upset if my opponent has Tabernacle in their deck. I will Worldly Tutor. Get the Hatchery Sliver, that's what it's called. That goes on top of my deck. Badgermole Cub will do its thing. My opponent have a way to force me to shuffle. I will be sad if yes. God damn it. I'm so upset about this. That just beats this strategy until I draw the Thrumming Stone thingy. Put this on Sliver. I think I will just put this into play nevertheless. My stuff has Shroud. What a beating. At least my opponent has to pay 4 for their own stuff. That is something. I guess Tabernacle was something I could have foreseen earlier. I don't know if I have enough stuff for this matchup to pivot fully out of the combo, though. I have to take out 4 Leylines, 4 Memnites. I don't know that 8 of these are good. Yeah, you can wasteland me. And opponent just passes the turn here. I can keep both of my friends while keeping a blue mana available to cast a cantrip that I top deck. It is a crop rotation, presumably for another wasteland. It's fine. I will just draw the Thrumming Stone thingy. Thrumming Hatchery? I forget what it's called. The big artifact. Nope. I believe I can now just be wastelanded off of all of my various things. Wasteland 1, Knight of the Reliquary, activate the other. Our combo was not good enough for this. I'll wait for it to happen. If my opponent does something slightly different, I can Force of Will. It's very unfortunate that I drew this Force of Will immediately after the crop rotation. Yep. Allen Gates with no target. My stuff has Shroud. Yeah. Force of Will doesn't stop Wasteland. I'm going to go ahead and concede there. My opponent's got this one. The combo was perfectly fine. Just Tabernacle was over the top there. GG. Alright, final round. I've kept my opening hand here. It's not perfect, but I have multiple pieces of my combo in hand with some cantrips. Undercity Sewers. If I want to cantrip, I'm looking for a land, and I'm looking for Memnite. Opponent tops their card. Crystalline Sliver is not what I'm looking for. I'll grab Trop. Need to secure my land drop. Yeah. That gets me land drop and Memnite. And I have the Thrumming Hivepool already as well to do it with haste. Okay, we'll just go ahead and do regular land drop and pass. Elegant Parlor. Ooh, are we playing against combo? This is probably a storm combination. Hexing Squelcher. That's fine. I win on my next turn. Yes. Okay, cool. So now I can brainstorm, put back a Leyline and a Worldly Tutor. I'll fetch Savannah. Worldly Tutor for Memnite. My favorite sliver? Not really. Silence. Fuck you. So devastating to have the entire combo with haste and not be able to do it. Opponent couldn't kill me last turn, but they have at least 2 more mana this turn, if not more. I will get hit for 2 by Hexing Squelcher, which is fine. Weird floating mana thing, but yes, Dark Ritual does resolve. We are beseeching the mirror. Are we at a Gaia's Will kill already? There's no starting mana for Dark Ritual? Okay, that'll do. Opponent fetches. Now that Dark Ritual is live. Okay. Up to 6 mana, discarding Tendrils and Song of Creation. Opponent has maybe figured out that they can't do that. Beseeching again. They fucked up. We'll take it. I mean, if they don't kill me there, I go Hatchery Sliver, Memnite, Infinite, Thrumming Hivepool, attack for lethal. So, like, I do just get it there. GG. I suspect that I need Leyline, Force of Negation, Null Rod here. That is 8 slots, and so I suspect that I'm probably going to just be best off doing something like this. I can cut the Memnites and turn them into other slivers as well. My blue count is a little low for Force of Will purposes. Hopefully that's fine. I don't know that I'm gonna fart around with trying to remove Hexing Squelcher. Cavernous Souls Brainstorm. Perfect mana base, baby. Keep all day. Seriously, though, I'm going to keep the Leyline hand backed by a Force of Will. Any land lets me deploy reasonable threats, and cantripping would be cool. I also don't need to hit on turn 1. Yeah, this is totally fine. Like, it doesn't cast my cantrips here, but I'm intending on pitching one of those to a Force of Will effect anyway. Opponent fetches. That Plateau Undercity Sewers combo. Yes. My opponent can't echo through Leyline anyway, and echo refueling my hand is what I would be thinking about in wanting to Force of Will. So I think I just let that happen. They've got 1 card. Burning Wish or Infernal Tutor has 6 mana afterwards, which is a lot. It is Burning Wish or 6 mana. The draw half your deck thing is like 6 mana. Actual, factual, empty the Warrens. Don't see a lot of that anymore. Or 12. Rip my counterspells. I don't think I beat this in a fair capacity. I'm not going to do the math on it, but I don't think I do. I can't replicate slivers fast enough. So I take 11 here, going to 9. If I play 1 more sliver, I still just take that 9. All right. I am dead. GG. Counterspells did not do what I wanted them to do there. Do I want the combo? The combo also makes these significantly better. I think I don't want the combo, though. This has a counterspell. It is a fine start. I'm willing to keep based on that alone, but would love to find like a Null Rod or something here. Yes, this is fine. Yeah. The silence effects are definitely frustrating for our ability to fight against this specific combo deck. I'm going to go ahead and fetch to clear the sliver off the top of my deck. I am fine casting an initial sliver, and then I think next turn I use Brainstorm to try to find something to do with this, and hope that I can speed up my clock a bit. If I'm given the chance to counter something reasonable, I probably just take it. Do I counter it? That's a really good card that I can guaranteed counter. I'm going to fire that off. The silence effects are just so devastating for me that I think I am fine doing that, despite the awkwardness of using a counterspell on non-payoff cards. Oh my god, are you still just going to go off through that? Alright, I mean, fuck me, I guess. It was not meant to be. It is an Echo. This is going to be non-deterministic, but it's going to be very good. My opponent can leave both blue and black floating here. My opponent has silenced, so I can't cast any of these things. And we'll see if I'm dead. Mox Opal. Dark Ritual. A Beseech will just do it. The storm count is already 10, so Tendrils is lethal. Yeah, I do not have enough permanent-based disruption for this specific matchup. I think that is the end of the league. We did put a win on the board, but Slivers was just close but no cigar for a number of different reasons this league. GG. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Very fun. I recommend this highly in terms of fun. I think if I played it again, I would cut the Worldly Tutors. It just takes time off and is not necessarily something that is going to be crazy good to cast in a lot of circumstances. Like 2 Preordains, for example, would be totally reasonable. Or just playing 2 more Slivers that allow you to kind of go back into a more defensive role. I like this Thrumming Hivepool a lot. I would be interested in just playing a straight up aggro Slivers deck that played this as a finisher. Just casting this for 2 or 3 mana to give all of your things double strike haste and make it so that you can play around sweepers is totally fine. We lost to some weird things today. Like Tabernacle is not something you expect in the average game of Legacy. Like the Tabernacle beat us. And there were multiple times where we had the combo and it just didn't quite work out for one reason or another. I am glad that I played this version. I think you can do some finessing here still. Like, for example, is Crystalline Sliver actually important if when you play Hatchery Sliver, the first thing you do when you have priority is Memnite and you just win? Or do you need Crystalline Sliver because sometimes you're just going to go Hatchery Sliver, 4 mana next turn, make 2 copies of Predatory Sliver and just go that way? I don't know. I would play more Magic with this deck. This was a lot of fun. And with that, I've got some other things to do, so I'm going to call it a day here. I hope you all enjoyed. This was really fun for me. Have a great rest of the day, folks. See ya!